I'll tell you what, it wasn't easy, but the Gatemen 3-2 winners in Game 1 of the 2018 playoffs over the number 4 seed Cotuit Kettleers. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spillane Field and the Gatemen Postgame Show alongside Cameron Stuart and Henrique DaMour. I'm JD Raucci, and it was an absolute barn burner tonight. What a game in Game 1 of the playoffs. If we don't see another game like this, this could easily be the game of the season for the Gatemen. A 3-2 win. They led it 3-0 heading into the 9th inning, gave up 2 runs, bases loaded for Cotuit, every kid's dream, and the Gatemen just barely able to pull it out. The offense struggled tonight, only 7 hits for the Gatemen today. It was really a pitcher's duel. We'll get to that in a minute, but the offense struggled except for a few key spots, Henrique.
Yeah, and one of those key spots was Austin Shenton with what ended up for the first 7 innings being a huge home run out to almost dead center field, close to the uprights over here at the football section of Spillane Field. But Shenton with his fifth home run of the season and postseason, third in a week, I should say. And then late in the game, off the Cotuit bullpen, the offense kept on churning with some 2-out hits, right? I mean, Oliver Dunn with a big hit and Isaac Collins with a big double to keep the game going. Oliver Dunn continues to produce back in the top of the lineup. The hits came in short order for Wareham. Runs were at a premium, absolutely, but the Gatemen capitalized in a few key spots before things got very dicey in the ninth.
Offense wasn't there for the Gatemen really the whole game except for those 2 spots, as you mentioned. 2-run single for Oliver Dunn and a home run for Austin Shenton were the offensive highlights tonight. But luckily for the Gatemen, they were also backed up by a fantastic pitching staff who allowed less base runners and less hits to Cotuit. Cotuit just with 5, and it all started with Ryan Garcia.
And Ryan Garcia, as good as advertised. He's the guy you roll out for Game 1, and he showed you why today. 5 shutout, no-hit innings for him with 8 strikeouts. That's 19 straight scoreless innings for him on earned runs anyways. Going back to July 12th, which was another game against Cotuit, he only allowed 1 run in 4 innings there. So he has been just electric all season, and his stuff was just nasty tonight. He had everything going for him. And when you have a great start like that, and to be able to put in another all-star right behind him in Easton Lucas, that's a pretty good problem to have. And Lucas almost looked like he was going to go the distance after that, went into the 9th inning after starting in the 6th, threw over 60 pitches. Wasn't the sharpest Easton Lucas we've seen all year because he let a base runner on in every single inning he went in, but was able to pitch around all of it, didn't give up a run, only 2 hits for him allowed, and he gave them a chance to win. Things were about to fall apart with Joey Barron out there. Gave up the home run. Of course, one of those runs being charged to Easton Lucas, and it was a 3-2 ball game. We end with the bases loaded, as we all saw out there in that game. A couple of close plays on the infield. One turns out to be an error, and the guy is safe at second. And the force play at second base, awfully close to end the game, but Oliver Dunn getting in there just in time behind the runner. Barron, not his best self today. The last 2 times out was the only times he's given up runs, both against the Cotuit Kettleers. So he's a bit of a question mark going forward. But Garcia and Lucas, just as good as we've seen them all year. And that's going to lead to some momentum for the Gatemen tomorrow with Derek West, who has also been outstanding.
Pitching staff dominating today for the Gatemen. And we got to give a shout-out to Griffin McClarty, the starter for the Cotuit Kettleers. He was also awesome tonight. Gave up just 1 run before Ryan Leffner came into the game and gave up a couple in the bullpen for Cotuit. But as you mentioned, Cam, Ryan Garcia hasn't allowed a run since July 12th. He has only allowed a 1 earned run a couple of times this season. Yeah, he's our player of the game. He got the chance to talk with Mary Orders after today's win.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with tonight's player of the game, Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan, you scored 5 scoreless, no-hit innings. What was working out there for you on the mound?
I think just going pitch to pitch. I wasn't really trying to do too much. Obviously, just trying to get those guys out, and I trusted Gian behind the plate calling the pitches, and we just went pitch to pitch, and that's just how the game went.
You threw 8 strikeouts. Which pitches were working to get those strikes?
I think my fastball. My fastball definitely later in the count was more effective. I think they were sitting on off speed, and then I threw a fastball by there, and they just weren't sitting on it.
Do you feel like your pitches progressed over the 5 innings?
I think I did throw quite a few pitches throughout the game. They wanted to stop me at 4, but I argued to go another inning back out in the 5th because of pitch count, and I think I did a good job with managing pitch count in the last couple innings. But yeah.
So after those 5 innings, you had to sit and watch, obviously, the rest of the game. It got pretty close there at the end. Take me through your emotions. How do you kind of deal with that?
Very supportive for the guys who come in after me. Obviously, I go the first 5, and then Easton's right behind me doing the same thing. So I'm his number 1 fan in the dugout and in the bullpen, and so it's definitely supportive, I'd say, when I'm out.
What do you think of Easton's game?
I thought he did very well. He kept us in the game. Obviously, up until the last inning, it was a dogfight. So yeah.
Lastly, your father and brother are here. What does it mean to play in front of family?
It's great. They made the trip out from New York. My brother had a tournament there, and so they just drove up here and were able to see me pitch. So it means a lot, and it's fun.
Ryan, thanks so much and great job tonight. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much to Mary Orders and to our player of the game tonight, Ryan Garcia. Absolutely masterful outing for him. And this was a masterful and really humongous win for the Gatemen. Game 1 in a 3-game series. You can't say much more because now Cotuit's backs are against the wall.
Yeah. No, they really are. Now, they're going to Lowell Park where they've had more success against the Gatemen, aside from that 8-1 shutout a long time ago, but that was a different Cotuit team, and this was a different Gatemen team, honestly, as far as pitching staff is concerned. The guy that shut him down, Drew Matulovic, his jersey belongs to Jacob Goldfarb, who was on the Cotuit team the last time that happened. So it shows you just how much has gone on since the last Gatemen win at Lowell Park. Cotuit is going to come out firing on all cylinders. They are not going to go down quietly, especially after what happened here. Cam said it best at the end of the broadcast. He said there's one of two ways you come back from this. Either your spirits are broken or you're going to come back stronger than ever. I think Cotuit is going to do the latter. That being said, what a huge win for the Gatemen. We talked about the late inning heroics, especially early on. They had a lot of that, but not much late inning grit to hold on to games. This is the close victory that we've seen the Gatemen hold on to in late innings ever. I mean, the Gatemen have only had a couple of these. Usually we see, as things get out of control here, the Michael Tolley intentional walk, that was something that ended up, it actually benefited the Gatemen in that one because it allowed Austin Shenton to fire over the force out to Oliver Dunn, who made one heck of a play. Everything went wrong, and then everything went right for the Gatemen. Peyton Burdick, who hit 3 bombs to start the year, had hit 2 the rest of the year, decides this is the perfect time for his 6-1. I mean, what a huge way to step up for his team, absolutely. But the Gatemen came out, this is bar none the biggest win of the year, and as we mentioned on the pregame show and a couple times on the broadcast, since the CCBL has changed its playoff format to what it is right now, back in 2010, winners is all 3 game sets the whole way through division semis, division finals, and grand finals. The winners of Game 1 have gone on to win their series 75% of the time. This is huge, especially considering how dominant the Gatemen have been at home. Even if you can put up a fight against Cotuit and bring it back here for Game 3, your odds go up, right? But I think the Gatemen would be very well. They would be behooved to put it away at Lowell Park, but it is going to be very difficult.
They will try to do it tomorrow, and as you mentioned, Henrique, not going to be easy. Cotuit is going to be out for blood. They are out for their season. And they're sending a guy to the mound in Zane Collins that has had success against the Gatemen, although Wareham is countering with another great pitcher in Derek West.
Yeah, I think you put it modestly that Zane Collins has success against the Gatemen. He's got them on strings. He's playing them like puppets the last 2 years. He has been Big Brother. 19 2/3 innings against the Gatemen. No runs allowed against Wareham, including a complete game shutout here last year, albeit last year, here against the Gatemen at Spillane, but has dominated in the 4 appearances he's made this year against the Gatemen, including the last time out before this game, the 4-4 tie, went upwards of 3 innings in that game. Shutout baseball, obviously, once again. But you mentioned it, the Gatemen counteract with a pretty good number 2 starter, one of the best still remaining with all these pitchers being lost all around the league in Derek West. A huge pickup for them that they've had this year out of Pitt. He's been a guy who's been used in the bullpen, now being used as a starter, and has not skipped a beat. He has had great stuff all year, has become more of a strikeout guy than we've seen him in college, but can get it done any way you need him to. Derek West, right down there below Ryan Garcia, who's obviously been impeccable this year for the Gatemen, but West has been nothing short of impressive this year as well. He is a guy who I want to send out on the road to try and clinch a series, or on the flip side, if the Gatemen were to have lost tonight, he's a guy who can be a stopper as well. He has just to answer the call every single time for the Gatemen this year. Got to have confidence with him on the mound as well.
Could easily have another pitcher's duel on our hands tomorrow with Derek West and Zane Collins, but game number 1, that all-important game number 1, goes the way of the Gatemen. A 3-2 win, a nail-biter at the end, but a win nonetheless for the Gatemen. All right, that'll do it for us here on the Gatemen Postgame Show. For Henrique DaMour and for Cam Stewart, I'm JD Raucci saying so long, and join us tomorrow, 3 o'clock first pitch from Lowell Park in Cotuit.